Saturday morning, and the Experts program kicks off with our tech expert, Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group. Luis, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Mark. How are you today?
Oh, not bad. We're recording this program a day early because you and the missus are headed down the coast to enjoy some great wine tasting this weekend. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, we're heading to Paso Robles and visiting some of our favorite wineries and checking out the restaurants. Now things have opened up a little bit, but it's going to be a beautiful weekend. It looks like the weather's going to be cooperative, so looking forward to it.
Hearst Castle's still closed, right?
Yeah, Hearst Castle's still closed. Anything that's indoors is still largely not available for anything. So all the wine tasting you do at these wineries is all outside. And, they've adapted over the course of a year to that reality. And a lot of them that didn't have outdoor seating now do have outdoor seating. And it's all by reservation. So you just can't pop into during the normal times, the pre-COVID times where you can just pop into a winery and a tasting room and taste. You now have to make appointments for all that stuff.
Hey, let's look at a story here. Speaking of traveling places, Hawaii is developing a coronavirus vaccine passport that'll make travel to the islands easier. I would think any area that is really dependent on tourism, whether it's Hawaii or Las Vegas or even the Monterey Peninsula for that matter, this is something that they might be paying attention to. What's happening over in Hawaii?
Well, so as most people know, Hawaii shut down pretty early on to travelers because they were concerned about limited access and rightly so. This is an island and they don't have a lot of options, so they didn't want to spread coronavirus throughout the islands. But over time, they opened up, but it requires you to take a test at least 72 hours before you fly. And then even when you get there, you have to quarantine for a few days in order to confirm that the test was accurate. And so it really wasn't the best experience for people unless you had to go or you had the time to go. But as of March 1st, if you are already vaccinated and have had both the shots of Moderna or Pfizer, then they're developing a vaccine passport. It's an electronic way to confirm that you are, essentially COVID-free and can travel to the islands without having to quarantine when you get there and being able to travel from island to island. And as you said, I think this is going to be something that is not only common for Hawaii, but it's going to be common for all international and, even domestic travel, as people want to make sure that, hey, you are safe and you're not carrying and you're not going to infect our folks. And I know that some companies like Google and Microsoft are working on a digital passport, an app, if you will, where it can confirm based on, your information that you have actually gotten the vaccine. And that's going to be used for international travel in particular so that you don't have to quarantine once you get there.
How long is this passport good for?
I think it's 6 months, right? So the idea is, for better or for worse, most medical folks are saying the COVID-19 virus is one of those things, kind of like the flu, that you're going to have booster shots for at least the next few years, every year. And so I imagine that will be something that will be taken into account. So just like if you've ever gotten the tetanus shot, you have to renew that every 10 years. This will be the COVID-19 will be kind of a yearly thing that people will have to do if they want to be able to travel. And as we develop this so-called herd immunity so that fewer people get sick and those that do get sick don't die.
And this is a 6-week pilot program right now that's available only if you're flying from LA to Honolulu on United or Delta. So if you did want to go to Hawaii, first off, it has to be from LA. You've got to be on those airlines, and you can't fly to Maui. It can only be to Honolulu. But I wonder if once you get to Honolulu, if you want to go to Maui or the Big Island, if you're going to be able to travel around the islands okay.
I think you will be, especially as this proves to be successful, which I think it will be. You're going to see the governor of Hawaii open it up a little bit more. There are legitimate concerns, obviously, about protecting their people. But like you said, hey, this is a state that depends hugely on tourism. And the quicker they can get back to normal, the better for their population.
All right. Well, it sounds like an interesting thing. And yet another way that we're using technology to try and deal with a big situation that has really, really turned society upside down over the last year.
Yep, it absolutely has. And I don't think we'll ever get back to normal, but I do think we're going to get back to a little bit more normal.
Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us today on Power Talk Radio. Online, you'll find them at alvareztg.com. At AlvarezTG is the Twitter handle. Luis, what's the toll-free number for the I-Team?
Give us a call at 866-78-I-Team. That's 866-784-8326.